Hi guys, welcome back. There is one major problem right now that I see in the market that could lead not only first to a fake pump, but then to a massive dump afterwards. And this will happen in the upcoming days. I will show you exactly what I'm looking at and what's gonna happen over the next 24 hours too, and what trades I'm potentially taking right now. Let's go. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Sunday. Sorry that I was not there yesterday, but I had some technical difficulties, had to sort them out. Now everything is fine again. So here on the DXY tomorrow, I expect when the US market opens that we're gonna get continuation here to the downside. But over the course of the week, I think that we are going to see a small reversal back to the upside, and that has something to do with the potential drop and that I see in the market. I'm gonna tell you in a moment exactly what this is, so make sure that you stick around here for that, because it's really, really important that you are aware of what's potentially going to happen here. And I see the camera is not in the right spot, so there. Let me move this a little bit like this. Like this is much, much better, yeah. So let's have a quick look on the Bitcoin chart here, on the CME chart. We are currently seeing a small CME gap, if I'm not mistaken. I need to move here something over that I see actually what the price is. Yeah, so we definitely have a small CME gap right now on Bitcoin. Of course, there's still some time left, and this can easily turn around here. But for the time being, this would be our CME gap. We closed at $90,350 on Friday, and we are trading at around $89,500 as we speak. But why? So here, if this stays like that, then we will see a small pump back above the $90,000 mark. But of course, this is not really significant to say, oh yeah, we're definitely going to get continuation from these levels, even though I think that we're going to see here a small continuation move to like $92,000, $93,000. If you guys remembered, I had set limit orders here at $89,000 approximately, and you see here that trade is already running in profit. I actually wanted to add more to this trade, and for some reason it opened a separate trade. So, but overall I'm still in profit here, already $500 if you subtract here the loss from that trade. So overall $500 in profit on Margex, guys. If you want to trade with me on Margex, there is a link in the description. There is a trading competition going on where you can win $1,000 by participating. So use the link for that in the description below. And as you can see here, overall I'm already profitable here on Margex. Now, when we're looking at the weekly chart, this is looking really, really ugly right now. We are sitting here just above the golden ratio, the 1.618 at $89,200. I don't really see us closing below that level, but the bigger problem is that this weekly candle is now red, and with the two previous candles, this is forming a bearish order block that could lead by next week to continuation into lower levels. Overall, I definitely can imagine, depending on what happens by Friday next week, that we will see a move lower here. And for the beginning of the week, first, a fake move to the upside. That's why I'm saying there is a trap coming that will unfold most likely into Tuesday, Wednesday, around that time, where the market will rally and Bitcoin will go up here to like $94,000, maybe even $95,000. But then into Thursday, Friday, start rolling over and then getting here a major drop. So do I really believe that we are getting here like to $80,000 or something like that? No, not really, but we could revisit $86,000, $85,000. That is definitely in the cards. So I'm gonna tell you here in a second what exactly that scenario is. Just hang in here a little bit where I walk over everything here. So here on the bump and run pattern, nothing has really changed right now in the short term here. I just want to see, could I adjust that line here a little bit? I could. So yeah, so if you adjust that downward sloping trend line in that manner, then you can argue that we did not have yet a proper breakout with a throwback to the trend line, and that initial break was just a fake out. It happens. from time to time. So, and the real breakout is still happening. That's why I have here for a long time that dashed line, because I mentioned this before. This is the line to watch to confirm that real breakout out of that bump and run pattern. And we did not really see here a candle close above that just yet. So, but of course you usually want to make sure that you get in as early as possible, but with the lowest risk possible. And that would have been on the initial break of that downward sloping trend line here, with a throwback to the trend line and then running to the upside. So way before we are hitting here the dashed line. So but now we need to wait for that break. And like I just said, I see here over the next coming days a potential fake out coming, where we are technically going to break above this, but then into the next weekend coming back. And that could be then the throwback to the trend line and that we're actually looking at before we then start to rally here into higher levels. On the daily chart, it has now also formed a bigger ascending triangle. We are still holding on to the upward sloping trend line, and when you look at this here, this can go up until around, we're actually already in the breakout window. That's what I want to look at right now. So but this can go on for another week before we have to break out of this. So also here you see a proper breakout would get us at least to like 94, potentially $95,800. But there I expect that we're going to see a rejection based off what I'm going to tell you here in just a few seconds. On the 4-hourly chart, when we zoom in a little bit, then you see things are also not looking good here, because the EMA ribbon has now flipped back into a downtrend. So that means the whole ribbon here is now resistance when the price tries to get up here and break through that. So and because we just flipped this here back to the downside, it is highly unlikely that we're going to see here an immediate reclaim with continuation, unless there is some major catalyst hitting the markets news-wise, because from a technical perspective there is nothing that would now push us here back to the upside, and just more sideways rather than that. Until there is like a news event that would lead to a catalyst, there is no real scenario for Bitcoin to move right now to like $94,000, $95,000, $96,000. So also on WEEX, I'm still trading. My trade is a little bit underwater, but as you can see, I have $35,000 still parked on the side. So I can still add more to this position if I need to. My liquidation price is so low that I don't think that it gets touched here. But also here, I get ready to deploy more money into the market if I really have to. Also, if you want to trade on WEEX, guys, don't forget you get $400 for free just for binding your phone and email address and downloading the app if you sign up with the link in the description below. And another $400 if you deposit $500, hold them for 3 days on the platform. You don't need to trade with that, just hold it there for 3 days and you get another $400. Then you have $800 for free that you can trade with on WEEX. Now, when we're looking at the liquidation levels, then you see here we have now taken out the biggest concentrated area of long positions that was here. We can technically go a little bit lower to like $88,000, but it doesn't look like that is going to happen, and rather here move to like 91 to take out the liquidity that has built up here. And then over the last 4 weeks, I think there's a higher concentration. Yeah. You see here the highest concentration is at $98,000 right now. And here also something interesting to mention here. Over the last couple of weeks, if you followed here this channel for a little bit, you have seen now how these liquidation levels on the short side came lower and lower and lower over time. And this is because shorts understand, or people that were shorting the market understood, first of all, they are in massive profit, and second, there is a revenge pump coming at some point, a massive revenge pump. And the longer it takes, the more violent that move will be, and the higher that move will also go once it's happening. So, and that's why all these shorts that were like here at around like $103, $104, $108, $112,000, they're all gone. You know, they're all gone because they fear that revenge pump that's coming here at some point. So here I can see us also here on the, based on the liquidation heat map, that we pump here to like $95,000. That is now the the most likely target in the midterm that we're gonna tap at, and from there get then that move to the downside into lower levels. So let me see here. On the 15-minute time frame, we have lost the trading range that we were trading in over the whole weekend. Here, starting from $89,860 to $90,500, and it was fine for quite a while. But then we broke down here. I believe in the short term that this is a fake out, and that we're gonna reclaim this in the next coming hours, come back to the $90,000 level, and then here into the early morning hours of Monday, gonna get the golden cross on the 50 minutes chart. That will lead to a continuation move to like $91,500, $92,000, somewhere around these numbers. So this here looks to me like just a deviation and a fake out with a reclaim of the range here in the imminent short term. So would I open here now a trade on these current levels? No. If you want to open a trade, do it from $89,500. If you go here a little bit more to the left, you see also why here. They're also $89,500. If I go over here, $89,500. This is the level that you want to watch now before you open a position. That was the whole point why I had a trade at around $89,000 set with a limit order, because I knew it will not go much lower than that, you know. So, and as you can see here, for me that played out quite nice so far, and I kind of caught the bottom on that short-term move here. Yeah, and that will yield definitely a little bit pocket change for me here over the next couple hours while I'm holding this trade. So now let's talk about what will lead to that we're gonna see here a massive drop in the next coming days, and I'm gonna pull up a chart for that. Yeah, I only need this here, and you're gonna understand. So I'm gonna show you what's actually happening. Let me see. Just give me a second. Where is it? Is this one here? Yeah. So this is what you need to be afraid of right now, and this is the Japanese interest rate hike that is potentially coming this Friday. So if this is happening this Friday, the upcoming Friday now, that we are going to get an interest rate hike in Japan, expect everything to nuke. Not only Bitcoin, stocks, gold, silver, everything will start nuking if Japan increases the interest rate hikes, and also the dollar will then rally back to the upside because will actually drop because the yen is getting stronger. Yeah, so that's what's happening. The yen is getting stronger, so then the dollar will keep falling. But on Thursday, just before, I think the dollar will rise a little bit because a lot of people will move their risk on assets back into the dollar. So that will lead to that the dollar will pump for a couple of hours, and then on Friday, with the interest rate hike, if there is an interest rate hike coming, and they are not pausing it for another month or two, then you're gonna see that everything is gonna nuke. So this is something that that you need to keep in mind this week, and it's really important, as you can see here on the 19th at 3 a.m. GMT. So what time is that? GMT time now. So this is like in 15 hours from now. So this is like 10 a.m. Is this 10 a.m. my time? Yeah. So this is like, what time is it now in Japan? Japan time now, 10. It's like 2 hours. Yeah, so basically at 8 a.m. Friday morning in Japan, that is when they're gonna make the interest rate decision. And they're forecasting already a 0.25% rate hike. So and this is not priced in yet. You know, it's not priced in, and this is the big issue that that we are seeing here. Let's actually also check Polymarkets with that. Polymarket, Japan interest rates. Let's see. Wait. Polymarket. No. Ah, come on. Stupid Google with interest rate. Ah, there we have it. Decision December, prediction odds. Yeah, so even on Polymarket, I'll show it to you guys here. Polymarket is also factoring in a 0.25 interest rate hike with 98%. 98% is crazy. So yeah, so there is definitely an interest rate hike coming, because Polymarket is usually not wrong if the majority mind share is leaning to one side here. Yeah, you should get ready for a potential bigger drop here in Bitcoin by Friday, potentially already starting on Thursday into Friday. Remember, this is around the daily close. No, it's not. Almost. Yeah, it's almost around. It's a little bit after the daily close of Thursday. It's like 3 hours afterwards. So yeah, something that you definitely need to keep in mind when you're trading this week. There is definitely some money to be made leading up to the interest rate decision. But then Thursday, Friday, potentially it's better to stay off the out of the market, because the volatility will be insane once they're announcing the interest rate hike here. We can have a quick look here at the dominance. The dominance is currently dropping. That's why some altcoins are doing not that bad. Yeah, so for example, Hyperliquid is doing well. Zen, so here earlier. Monero did well, but gone again. So here's nothing really happening right now, and we're still ranging here. You know, nothing has changed from the overall range. I still expect that we are losing that range here and break below 59%, and then we are not coming back into that range once we are getting here 2 free candles out of below 59% with a retest and a continuation move to the downside. I think once you see something like this happening here on the dominance, that's it. Yeah, guys, that's basically already for today. I will not go too in altcoins. There's no point right now to do that. I rather wait for tomorrow to see what's going on, and then we can have a longer chat about altcoins that we can trade tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the Sunday, guys. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you hopefully with some more money tomorrow.